So he's ambitious. He wants to play in a big club and he wants to win trophies. Well, I suppose he would, Simon.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know which friends he's got in the Champions League that are winning Champions League trophies, but he's a
Mason Mount, his best friend.
Yeah, good point. He's a player that is coming with a great reputation. I'm not entirely sure he's having the greatest World Cup, but I would expect that at the end of this season you're going to find Declan Rice with a decision.
Yeah. You know a bit on this, don't you, Danny?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've spoken to him many times. He's certainly got desires and ambitions to play at the very top, which is Champions League, and win trophies. He's not going to do that at West Ham. Simple as that. So he's got to leave. I mean, he's given him an extra year, to be honest.
That's good of him.
Well, let's put it in perspective of footballers across the country, across the world. You know, they tend to go when they're at his level sooner than he's gone. So because
that's his club at the moment, the West Ham.
Yeah, and you can never doubt his commitment to the cause when he plays for them.
No.
It's not affected his attitude or application on the pitch, the fact that he stayed an extra season. But I think last summer there would have been some sort of agreement that this summer, if the fee's right, he can go. It's just the fee. Because the extortionate amount now they're asking for young English players who've got talent is remarkable. And who's going to pay it? There's only a few clubs who can pay what West Ham wants. So that's going to be the stumbling block.
What would they want, Simon? If he's your player, how much?
Well, look, I mean, the market is the market, and people will pay what they're prepared to pay. I mean, obviously, you look at transactions like Jack Grealish, and I can't make a case for him being a £100 million footballer, but he's a £100 million footballer because Aston Villa were canny enough to put that as a release clause, and Man City were prepared to pay it. I don't think there's such a thing in place at West Ham. We've heard them talk and speak about there is no price, and if he's a £100 million player, David Moyes said, we've got one in our dressing room. I'm underwhelmed. And probably there's going to be a collective inhalation of breath. I'm underwhelmed by Declan Rice. I think he's a very good player, but I'm trying to work out what a £100 million footballer should look like. And I think it should look like something a little bit more compelling than the showing that we've currently got. But that may just be because he's being asked to play for... I mean, there's a rumour going around here that eventually Declan Rice is going to pass the ball forward in this tournament.
If you're a West Ham fan listening, though, Simon, this lunchtime, and you're listening to Declan Rice talking in the fashion that he spoke, are you somewhat underwhelmed by what you've heard?
I think people are realistic. I think football fans are pragmatic. They'll understand. They'll be disappointed with the performance of this side this season, and obviously the noise reverberates around David Moyes and what he is and isn't doing. But I think West Ham fans will look at it and say, if he's going to go, we want to make sure that we get the maximum yardage out of the financial package that's there. And if someone's prepared to pay £100 million plus, and we've heard this being the scenario that's being indexed to him, then West Ham have the ability to redeploy that and go again in a different direction.
Where are you with Declan Rice, Danny, from what you've seen in this tournament? And the general consideration that maybe he's not the full package yet?
Well, I don't look at it in these three games. I look at it over seeing him the last 2 or 3 years. What's his capability? What's his ceiling? I think Declan Rice in a good side it could be absolutely phenomenal, because when he's let off the leash for West Ham and they're desperate in games and he starts surging forward past players and he goes, he's got this wonderful athleticism. I take Simon's point. He is a bit safe at times, and in this tournament, I think against the opposition, everyone behind the ball, he's been a bit safe. But I don't think he lacks creativity. I think at times West Ham he's stifled because they're not a possession-based side. He also has to let Souček bomb on because he's the one who gets in the box and tries to score a goal. If you played him in a side, if you put him in City side now with De Bruyne with Rodri sitting, Declan Rice will get double-figure goals, and he'd start having an impact on games.
But with England, is he stifled?
I think the way we're playing at the moment, if you look at the way we've set up in the games, we've played a 4-3-3. He's the one out the midfield three who has to stay. And when you've got two others like Bellingham and Mount who are going to try and take more risks and be creative, you do need one who's very disciplined and more economical with the ball. So I understand his role. I think one of his strengths is understand the discipline he's got to play the role. But if you let him off, I think he could be phenomenal. And I think he wants to be more box-to-box.
Okay.
Because there's not many midfielders in European football who have the capability. Valverde's one. He's a box-to-box guy, Valverde. Now, Declan's got the capability to do that. But he's in a team where he can't.
Okay, he's in the team though, and is bound to be in that team when England take to the field against Senegal in the round of 16.
100%.